Welcome everybody to Warhammer Geheimnisnacht. I'll throw this up on stream so people can, on screen so people can read if they are interested in that kind of stuff. We are going to play a campaign in Warhammer Geheimnisnacht, and I need to move my camera. Give me a sec here, because I will be in the way of things here. But if I move myself over here, it'll be better, and then I will do this so that I am looking towards the action, right? Don't pay any attention to the man behind the camera. Alright, back to the game with the music and the stuff. Warhammer Geheimnisnacht is a mod for Crusader Kings 2, in which we can play the Warhammer fantasy world. I've previously made a video about it, and I do have an entire playthrough of it on my channel that you can go and check out, where we played a human campaign. Some of you might recall we were playing over here as Mr. Riccadeso from Bilbali. Good times were had. It's been a few years and I'm back. I want to play another campaign. And so I did share a poll with you guys on the channel where you could go and vote. And a few people have cast their vote for various factions. And the big winner was the one I had entitled the Stabby Green, which is goblins. And Skarsnik is here. How very fitting. Welcome, Skarsnik. We're playing goblins, and so I have been looking a bit around. We could have gone with a random goblin, which might have been fun, but it's really hard to play greenskins already. So that said, I don't want to play an easy campaign or anything like that. I have chosen a goblin, which I think will be a very hard challenge, but he's a really cool goblin. And he lives over here in the Crooked Corridor. This is boss Shagrack. Let us just dive straight in. I'll zoom out and see. We're literally in the middle of the old world. The race was tight between the scheming schemers, which is Zench. We could have played them, and I might want to play them in another playthrough soon. That could be fun. But I think it's a good idea to play some green skins. For those that are in the know about Crusader Kings, you might be wondering about the rule set, and I think the easiest way to show it is to hover over my save slot here. You can see which rules have been changed. The big question is, should we put hidden traits on or off, and I will probably just leave it off for now. In another campaign in the future, I could leave it on. If it is on, everything will be hidden unless your character is able to know or detect what other people's traits are. So you wouldn't be able to click on a character and see if they're insane, unless your character has enough intrigue to discover whether or not they are insane. Stuff like that. If we leave it off, we get all the information available to the player, which is a little cheaty, but then it's also kind of cool to see all the things. Why can't I change quality? It'll fix itself in a second, Skarsnik, I'm sure. It usually does. Update the browser or something like that. Knock creeps out of the shadows. I want to do a little bit of a fanboy thing here at the beginning again, because I discovered some things as I've been looking through the mod in the past few weeks, or in the past 2 weeks each time, where I've been gushing over this game. And so we're going to start by finding some characters here that I thought were really cool. Daemon. Search all. Maybe say game options, audio, turn that down slightly. Beep, 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 beep. Maybe I think it's effect that I need to turn down a bit, like that. Let me try that again. Find characters. Daemon here. And you can see that there are daemons in the world from the beginning of the game, something I didn't know. And some of them are playable. There's also Be'lakor. Some of you might have heard, at least Warhammer fans will have heard of Be'lakor. This guy's not playable, but I assume summonable or at least allyable. You can ally him or something like that later in the game. He's here. He exists. Daemon Prince of the Chaos Undivided. The Sench playthrough that I was considering playing is, where is he? This guy here, Tsai, or whatever. Chieftain Tsai of the Ragged Mace lives up here in the corner. I've been playing him a little bit in the past week just to see what he's like. He lives in the Inevitable City and is like a Daemon Prince of Zenj, which is you can become a Daemon Prince through play, but you can also just start as one, and it might be fun to try out. It's an extremely hard start, but I mean, he can't die, so you are at least safe, but it's hard to expand from that corner. Anyway, just a few things. Oh, no, there's more. There's more. I hope you guys are having a good time. I want to highlight... Who are you? A Fim Noble. Oh, they've added this guy. There's more trolls. So this is a Fim. A Fimir cast. This is a troll type, I think. Kind of. While they're about as intelligent as an orc, they have the same brutish strength and behavior, easily overpowering a man. Interesting. No, that's not the one I wanted to find. Where is he? We can search for him. His name is Throgg. Throgg, no? Someone showed me this just recently. Maybe I'm misspelling the name. OGG. Throgg. Here he is. That is how I spelled it. I spelled the name correctly. Anyway, King Throgg of Trollheim Peak. Also a playable character. Some of you guys might know him from Total Warhammer. This is the only troll that you can play in the mod. Normally trolls are too dumb to actually be player characters in a game like Crusader Kings do, where you have to be a leader of a country. Doesn't really happen for trolls often, but there is one, and he is very much playable. So you can play Throgg the Troll. And my computer is doing a little thing here. Okay, let's try to dive back in. Not sure what's happening. Ever since I installed Windows 11, things have been weird. Anyway, let's zoom in and talk about Boss Shagrack of the Crooked Corridor. Boss Shagrack is an interesting little fella. He is a skilled tactician and a holy warrior. He's a huge goblin. He is sturdy and he's fat. So he's like a leader of this little mountain territory here, which is hard to take, but also surrounded by enemies, humans to both sides. This lady here is a chosen of Keejchen. She's literally our neighbor. I'm not sure what she does. She's doing here, but apparently she lives here in the mountain. She has like a great wonder too that she lives with her, a great temple of Keejchen. So she's like infiltrated, I think, Brettonia or the Empire here, and hidden in the mountains, cackling and scheming. Fun stuff. Fimir is creatures, not trolls. Okay. What kind of creatures? I thought they were a troll type, but I guess I didn't know about Fimir at all until Total War Warhammer came around. So I'll believe whatever you point out. Now, we're gonna dive straight into just playing the Crusader King two ways. Here we are trying to set up our council here first, and we want to set our councilmen, council gobbos, to do the proper work. We want this guy to be building legend, which increases our prestige. As a goblin, a greenskin in general, the main thing that we use is prestige to do things. Prestige will be used to call wars, call wars, and have respect from the boys. It basically represents respect from the other boys within our realm. Yep. Mostly gobbos, but we can have orc court members if we want. It's dangerous, but it can be a boon because they're big and strong. We want our fighter to be organizing a raid. I forgot to mention that Building Legend has a chance of raising warriors for us every year, 4.5 chance of him raising a warband to attack our neighbors, because everything about Greenskins is about doing war. Same with the organized raid. It has a chance of spawning soldiers for us every year. And down here, then our great shaman, the best one we have at the moment, can build seal, which gives us piety. And we are, I think, I'll hold my tongue, we are a warband of Gork worshipper. I think... No, we are not dedicated to any god yet. So we can choose between Gork and Mork as we please. One of them is better for us, though. So we will probably, I think... Here... Known societies, known warband of Gork or Mork. We can read about them. Here, this one is martial focused, which is the warrior-like one, and then we have the other one, which is more intrigue focused. Mork is more backstabby, Gork is more fighty. And Warboss Shagrack is very fighty. Oh, he's got some intrigue too. Well, he's sturdy, fat, gluttonous, patient, brave, and honest. Not a typical goblin, I suppose, but he's a holy warrior for Gork. We are going to join the warband of Gork. Oh, and we immediately get an event here. Boss Gorbert of Undrivar of Warband of Gork greets me with a brief nod. That would be the leader here. Yes. Another recruit, huh? Or... I can't do an orc voice, I'm sorry. To join our ranks, you need to prove yourselves, boy. And the man says gruffly, the orc, folding his arms across his chest, you'd be fighting one of your own, still interested. And I say, yes, we are going to duel someone in order to be admitted into the warband of Gork. Very cool. He lives over here. Okay, so he's like a big orc. Oh yeah, for sure. Huge orc, strong, tall. He's the leader of the warband of Gork. He's wounded, mangled, and severely injured. Damn, okay. So he's not in the best state right now, but he can recover from all of this, of course. Look up the Black Gobbo. Black Gobbo. Black Goblin? No. Black Gob... Not sure who you mean, Skarshnik. There's a lot of black orcs, of course. I can say... No, I can't say same race as me. We could say my culture group. Nope, okay, that wasn't good enough. Any culture. Arkin the Black. There's a lot of black. And Black Gobbo didn't yield any results. And I see no goblins here, so I don't think we have who you're looking for. Back over here, we would ask, the Great Shaman can hunt apostates, trying to find people who do not worship Gork and Mork and then burn them on the stake. We can try to change the religion of a county, we can try to improve relations with other shamans, or we can build seal, where we try to raise a warband, a religious warband of holy warriors who wants to fight people or like anyone who is not Gork and Mork, which is what we're surrounded by. So, and it gives me piety per month. Boom. So, there, our Skulker, our spy master, we want to send him to study technology, and we study technology from those who have the best technology. That is over here. In Ulthuan, the king of Ulthuan lives here. They have amazing technology, 24, 24, 24. We can learn a lot by spying on them. That'll give me a lot of technology points income per month. He might get caught and murdered, but He's a character. Well, I looked for him. Black Gobbo. And it doesn't ring a bell for me. But who knows? He might be in there. Like, I searched for Throg. I can't... Kind of annoyed that if I search for Throg, he doesn't show up, right? But then when I searched R-O-G, rock, like this, then he's there. T-H-R-O-G-G. T-H-R-O-G-G. And then he doesn't show up. So something fishy is going on there. Can you do a war? Yes. But not yet. We need to gather the boys in order to do that. Let's see here. Gather the boys is here. It's a, we need to be at war. No, this is not like, when we become, we need to be a king level title, I think, in order to have enough like power to call a war. When you call a war in this game, you basically ask every single greenskin faction in the game to join war against like a kind of like a crusade would work in the regular Crusader Kings 2. You select an enemy country, realm, and say, I'm calling a war there, and then it'll start like a build-up period where other greenskins can join and commit forces to join you, and then the green tide will roll. And when other orcs call wars, I think we can try to join them, something like that. It's been a while since I proper played greenskins, so we'll have to learn it as we go here. Yeah, there's no other things here right now that we need to be doing. We could hire some people, but nah, we'll just play with what we've got. So no important decisions right now. We don't have an heir. We will fix that, so let's just dismiss that for now. Title loss and succession because we don't have an heir. Yes. We need to pick an ambition and a focus. So an ambition can be to create a treasury. We can try to make a friend. This one, some of them here will give me a permanent stat increase if I try to complete them. Like this one will give me permanent +1 stewardship, which is great. Diplomacy, become the king of Grey Mountains. See the realm prosper. Build a war chest or win a war. This is usually the one I will go for. Trying to win a war should be fairly easy, and then we get a permanent +1 marshal to our character for winning the first war. So I will, and it's a very greenskin thing to do, right? And in that vein, I will choose the war focus, which gives us +3 additional marshal, able to raise more troops, and also personal combat skill +10, which will help me enter the warband of Gork by dueling better. So personal combat skill is how well we fight. We take this one. That should raise my personal combat skill a little bit. Being fat gives me a -10, and I'm also honest, which makes it actually kind of bad for me. Maybe we can get rid of that honesty with time. But I looked around for goblins, and I really think Shagrack here is an interesting character. We can do some special characters actions. Right, we can take some greenskins into your clan. So as most of you will probably know, greenskins do not have children in Warhammer. They, well, I think in the Warhammer fantasy world, it's not really confirmed where they come from because they don't have the technology to like figure out where the orcs come from. But in Warhammer 40k, the humans know that orcs are mushrooms that grow out of the ground, and then they become sentient beings, semi-sentient. And so we don't get a son that we can't make children that will become our heir, but we can take greenskins into our clan. Basically what a greenskin will do is they're surrounded by their councilmen and court members, so whoever they attract who are of attention and who are worthy, they can point at them and say, hey, do you want to be part of my clan, my dynasty? And then they will go, of course, because you are a bigger, better, more badass goblin or greenskin than them. So right now I think we can only choose between our council members, but there might be more candidates later. And we can like cycle through them here. We have 3 different choices. So we can take Matey into our clan. Matey is, I don't know if it's female or... I guess they're not male or female. They're probably just all male, technically. I'm not sure. He is content, which is a nice trait for an underling to have. That gives them plus 25 opinion of their leader because they're already content with where they are. Frugal is good, making more money. Charitable, cruel. Small goblin, but a gray eminence. So we got to think about would I want to play this character, because if I die, one of my dynasty members will take over, and that could be Melee. Not a bad one. It's got good stats all around. High intrigue is good. Diplomacy is good. So yeah. Here we've got Gork, who is a scholarly theologian, but a little bit dim. He's a large goblin, and they will grow in size until they become huge over time. Every goblin and greenskin will grow over time until they become huge. I think huge is the final stage. He's ambitious, envious, brave, and arbitrary. Kinda semi-bad stats here. Then we got Beckett, who is a skilled tactician, large goblin, diligent, temperate, trusting, and lustful. Semi-bad stats. Okay. I like melee, but personal combat skill 6 for being small goblin. Okay, so you could grow over time. Gray Eminence is a great stat to have. Because diplomacy will make your underlings like you and then less likely to backstab you. And high intrigue so we can backstab other people is nice. I think we will take melee into our clan. Maadi. If you wonder, all I know about Warhammer 40k is from Dawn of War, so I'm not so deep into the lore. Fair enough. That's why I'll mostly try and learn. It's okay. I'm glad you're enjoying the show, Nock. Greenskins, they have no gender, indeed. But I think in the terms of the game engine, they must have a gender. But it's probably... Okay, so he's my son. So technically male recognized by the game, but like you're saying, it doesn't matter for the lore. They don't have genders. We could take more of these guys into my clan. I'm hoping that we would get some better candidates later. I do believe that there's a maximum of amount of characters that we can take into our clan, so we should hold off a little bit and see if we can find some better people, better gobbos for the job. We should find the best commanders that we do, but we don't have a lot of people in our realm yet. Okay, so I think we're mostly done setting up. We can search for a smith, but we don't have a lot of money. What we will do though, because we are greenskins and we don't like sitting still, in fact, if we have peace for too long, our guys will start to riot. That's a thing. So we are going to go immediately and raise our troops and go and burn down some cities. We are going to chuckle them into looter. So now they are, we're not going to go to war to conquer territory. We're just going to go and burn down some cities and some walls. And there, lo and behold, there's a dwarf hold right next to us. And there, this is the loot bar, the supply here, total county tax. And we can hover over it here and say county loot. They have loot that is protected by the fort. And then they have an additional loot that is like outside the walled cities in that same territory that we can go and steal. We can also burn down the cities and make more money, but we don't have to actually burn down the cities to loot all the outside lying villages in the mountains territory. So we'll go in there. I think that's the best target we have. We could go and raid Brettonia, but they are... that's a little bit iffy. Brettonia is kind of split at the beginning. We will need to... Oh yeah, we can go in here and say... Mr. Royak Louis the Young, toggle special interest. Once we do this, he will appear over here. Characters of special interest, Louis Didam. And he is the king of Brettonia. He is going to try to unite Brettonia and exterminate all the threats that are threatening his realm. He's got a vampire living in the middle of his realm, the Great Duke. Some of you might have heard of him, but there are also greenskins everywhere, and beastmen, and a rebel faction, and some barbarians, some Northmen who have conquered some of the shore territories. He's got all kinds of problems. He's got high elves living in his territory. And of course he lives next to the Wild Elves, and there's another Beastman horde down here. So while it may look like we are being threatened by Brettonia, Brettonia is being attacked from all sides at the beginning of the game, and we are going to hope our survival will be very dependent on Brettonia not getting their shit together. He has a nice helmet, yeah. One off-topic question I'll have to ask. How is the weather in Denmark? It started to snow in Austria. Yeah. We have had the the warmest and the driest March of like all time, like in recorded history in Denmark. And then yesterday it started to snow just to like finish off March. But up until that point, it is like a record holder for the warmest and the driest. Those two records have been broken for March in Denmark. So that'll answer your question. And at the same time, it started to snow in Austria. Isn't that interesting? And then we had a little bit of snow last night too, I think. But the weather was nice today. We could also go and raid the Gap of Bergris over here, which is the territory that this lady owned. This is a lady, by the way. Mistress Asalais, the Changer. Boss Gorbert of Undiverbar and Warband of Gork have chosen Boss Kalbas of Naudla as my opponent. The young greenskin eyes me up and down when we are introduced. Fresh meat, eh? He offers mockingly before shoving an elbow into my side, making everyone laugh. So we are going to duel Boss Kalbas of Naudla. He lives all the way over here, but we can travel. For lore reasons, we just meet somewhere in the middle on a predetermined location, and then we do battle, a demonstration duel. Not to the death necessarily, it's just a show duel to show our worth. The duel will take place within a few days. And here we go. The onlookers are cheering for Boss Kalbas of Naudla as he is swinging his wooden club with increasing enthusiasm. When it's over, the man looks at me with pity. Oh no! Ah, by the great spiders, that hurt. You lose the duel, and we get the wounded, and a black eye. God damn it. But that means that he would have gotten an opportunity to finish me off, which you can do in these duel things. But he chose to let me live. So we lose we get some temporary debuffs for being wounded, but we did get some duel experience. And we can see our new stats in here. I am wounded. And I have a black eye, minus 25 health and minus 5 personal combat skill, but it'll go away in about a year. Wounded will also go away at some point. The good thing is that we'll get scarred from this, which is a good thing, because greenskins respect people who are scarred. We are going to raid King Rorik of Caraxiflin, a well-known location. He has 1,400 dwarves ready to fight here. Am I reconsidering that? This was my plan starting out the campaign. Am I the best leader here? Yeah, I have combat modifier 18, but now I'm wounded, so maybe it's not the best. But I'm a holy warrior, so when I lead troops against religious enemies, like the dwarves, we will be doing extra damage and stuff like that. Yeah, we can do this. It'll be fine. Being wounded just before that was not the best thing ever. But hopefully they don't fight back. Maybe they will just let me burn down some of their cities without raising their forces. But we gotta go fight. It has to happen. Fresh meat.